Good morning, and welcome to Winnipeg. Now, back to our Yamato model here. Our metal Yamato. I still haven't decided what I'm going to do here. I have decided that I'm going to definitely give this away to somebody. Got a comment from somebody, and I think I might have forgot to reply to him. But he was saying that he had made a whole bunch of these and would like to have it. He'd even be willing to pay for the shipping. Well, I'll keep that in mind. You were actually the first one. So maybe you'll be on the top of the list. I don't know if it's going to be a case of what I'm going to do is everybody who shows interest, I'm going to have a draw after a while, or just get rid of it and stop talking about it. Anyway, I did get another comment. Let me put this over here. From a viewer. Now you didn't see this comment because it was a little bit snarky, and Google reads your comments, and they read everything. Well, the computer does. They don't have people there that actually read it on a tablet or something like that. They're all read by a computer, and everything that I upload is read, and everything that you send to me is read. And so this comment was automatically put into my held for review box because their algorithm sensed that it was kind of nasty, and it was. And but part of it was true, and that is that not 100% true. But the guy says you don't know how an airbrush works. Well, it got me to thinking that I did make a comment, I think it was in yesterday's episode, that I was saying that the only time the outside of the nozzle is going to get paint on it is when you backflush. But theoretically, it shouldn't get paint on it even when you backflush, but somehow it does. Okay, so I admit it. I don't know everything about an airbrush. And when I say I know how they work, I should have said I know basically how it works. I wish I could find that drawing that I did in CorelDRAW about 3 years ago when I first got this thing. And I drew it out, and you could see when you can actually see it, it's quite understandable. But anyway, well, today's the day. We're going to actually shake this up, and I went downstairs a few minutes ago, and I plugged in my air hose again, and so we are ready to boogie. And I'm just going to, shake this up again. I don't know if I should thin it out anymore. I thought I had thinned it out quite a bit. People were saying the reason it's not spraying is because it's too thick. I got 2 or 3 comments like that the paint is too thick. It needs to be thinned out more. But if you will remember, I tried just straight isopropyl, and it wouldn't spray that until I really increased the pressure at the regulator. But let's stop talking about it. Let's get ourselves recomposed here. And what did I do with my? Here it is. Very carefully now. Okay, let's get ourselves reset up and see if we can get our deck sprayed. This new airbrush that's coming from Amazon. I had mentioned that I didn't receive any comments that were negative. Well, later on, I did get comments from people saying that indicating that it wasn't a very good airbrush. So, we'll see. I do know by the way it's designed and everything that it is really going to go through paint fast. And I knew that before I read comments from people saying that it's going to really go through the paint fast. Okay, enough chatter here. We didn't have much of a sunrise this morning. Sorry about that. It's the time of year. Yeah, it's the time of year. We had a lot of cloud cover first thing in the morning. Some mornings are nice and some, but not too many. Not like in the spring, which is coming. Yeah. All right, now what do we got here? It's minus 18.9 outside right now. Well, one of the viewers was saying something about I'm here in my shirt sleeves, and I was saying how it's nice and warm at the model table, and I think I told him it's usually around 23 degrees, but it's only 22.1 on this one, and 21.6 on this one. So it's not what you call toasty warm, But it's, mind you, I forgot to turn the thermostat up this morning when I got up, so I sure do like to stall when it comes to having to airbrush, don't I? Just I find any excuse. Like one of the viewers mentioned, it's amazing how creative one of his kids can get when it comes to having to go to bed. Bedtime. When you're a kid, you don't want to go to bed. You want to stay up. Okay. Yeah, you can get real creative. Well, let's get real creative here and see if this is going to work. I think that there's a chance it might work better. On the other hand, if it doesn't, well, on Wednesday, we're getting that other airbrush. Okay, I almost forgot to do this. I was all set up here to paint, and then I remembered that we got a comment from Paul, and he was mentioning how when he was trying to do his Iowa, he had a problem with the bow not fitting. So I just wanted to make sure, and I was pretty sure I'd already done this, but maybe I didn't. But I just want to fit everything into place here, because I thought I remembered being very pleased with how everything went together. But maybe not. Maybe, as I mentioned before, these builds, they're starting to all sort of meld together. Okay, we're fit perfect at the back here. Just see if I can hold this down with something heavy here. That's probably not heavy enough. Okay. Now we'll get this in place. Okay, make sure that the deck is all the way back and they're butted up together. That's in, that's in. Okay, now work our way to the front here. I'm probably going to end up spilling this. Okay. Okay, I'm not having a problem. I was pretty sure it was right, but as I mentioned in my reply back to Paul, that the time to fix that problem would be now, before I paint this. Okay, I don't need to worry about it. And by the way, I'm going to put my camera here, and we're going to be looking in this way instead of this way. I'm much more comfortable with the camera on my right in a situation like this, but we'll see how it goes here. That's the way I've done most of my spraying before, if you will recall. Okay, let's recompose here. Okay, here we go. I've shaked this up already. And what I plan to do here is we're just going to put a few drops of paint thinner in here. Okay. Now I can actually see it down there. And we'll see if it's going to come out. I've got my regulator set for 20 pounds. So let's just see what happens here now. Okay, see if I can show you. It's back flushing. It is back flushing. Why is it back flushing? Okay, first of all, a few minutes has passed here. I've been sort of sitting here just, you might say, in a daze, trying to figure this out. I'm trying to think of the mechanics behind this. Why is, instead of the paint being drawn out of the nozzle, it's actually being pushed back in? There is no dried paint or anything on the end of the needle that is causing the pressure to back up. what I'm wondering is, I've come to two conclusions. The nozzle is not far enough forward coming out of the for the nozzle cap, not the needle cap, but or maybe maybe I'm saying this backwards, but the nozzle might be a little bit too far forward because it is going too far, being pushed too far back into the body. I'm wondering if maybe when I was cranking this nut down with a wrench, I slowly got it worn so that the nozzle is being shoved back into this part more than it should be. Or the other possibility is that because I've been using the ultrasonic cleaner to clean the nozzle, it has taken metal off of the end of the nozzle, which is very, very delicate at that end, and the nozzle now has become shorter. Now, the good news is that I found by increasing the pressure to 30 pounds, it does spray. Okay, so I'm going to give it a go here. At 30 pounds, and we'll just see what happens. At least we know it's not leaking here anymore. Okay. Now it's just as easy to pour back a full reservoir of this stuff as it is a partial one. So I may as well just fill this up in the anticipation that this is going to actually work. Oh, and before I shook this up a few minutes ago, I did add about a milliliter of thinner, so it's maybe slightly thinner than it was before. Well, I guess the thing to do is, you might say, prime the pump, and we're still at 30 pounds here, and hopefully we should see the paint coming after the thinner has thinned out. And if it doesn't work, well, let's get our fan going here. That seems to be okay. All right. Okay, I think I'll move it across this way. Camera's a little bit in the road. I'm scared to try this. Glad I put the lid back on that. I'm going to give it 2, maybe 3 coats. Okay. Pretty sure I got the planking here at the end. I am noticing a lot more mist in the air than usual. Maybe that's because I got the higher pressure going on. Okay, I'm going to stop the camera here right now, and I'm going to give the bow section a second coat. I want to get the camera back out of this misty area. By rights, I should maybe be wearing my face mask. I'm not. I don't remember it being misty like this, but okay, we're all cleaned up here and ready to go for the next time. And I took it apart, cleaned it up, put it back together. Exactly the same way as I've done many, many, many times over the last going on 4 years. And yeah, it's the only difference is, of course, I'm putting on this silicone tape. Now I know, I should go and get a new O-ring, but you know I've got lots of this stuff, and it's fairly easy to put on actually. Now, how much paint did we use? Well, you probably can't see the level there, but I'm guessing about 3/4 of this jar we used. Maybe a little more. And I did give it 2 coats, by the way. And anywhere that it looked a little bit like maybe it needed another little squirt, I gave it another little squirt. Okay, I think we'll let this dry now. I'm not going to put the clear coat on it until after I know it's cured, because it will have a tendency to this paint will dissolve in the cure coat, so I don't want that to happen. Something happened late yesterday afternoon, and I didn't know that it was happening, and I'm going to show you what it was. Now, this sign that I put on my door a couple of years ago, well, it can be read long before you actually get to the door. Now, I know how it is because I worked in this industry until I retired. And you're interested in just one thing. Where is this thing going? And how can I get back into my nice warm truck? You're not thinking about any details, or you're not reading any other signs. Yeah, you just want to get back in your warm truck. And to reach out and ring my doorbell, well, you might get your finger cold. Okay, I already am pretty sure I know what it is. It says, ear here. I think it means tear. Ear here to open. Okay. Sometimes this works and sometimes it doesn't. All right. It's what I thought it was. This is from our friend Chris in Atikokan. And this is a gift. I'm accepting this as a gift to the build. This is going to be very handy. Now, he uses these to grasp onto the pegs on the bottom of little parts. I've got some little foam blocks that these are going to work just great in. Looks like there's at least a couple of dozen there. So this is going to be really good. Thank you so much, Chris. Okay, I'm going to call today's episode a day, and we're actually going to maybe try these out in tomorrow's episode, and I'll see if I can get my paintbrush to spray at a slightly lesser volume, or air pressure rather. And what I was noticing is that when I had the increased pressure, the 30 pounds going on, that if I pulled it back just a little bit, it wasn't misting so bad. Yeah, but there's a new learning curve that has to go on with this thing until I find out what's wrong with it. In the meantime, thanks for watching, everybody. And all being well, we'll be seeing you tomorrow. Yeah. That's going to be slick.